What's up, guys? Welcome to another edition of Sports Talk SA. I'm joined today with Matt. I'm Damon. Today, we're looking at the relegation battle, bottom of the log, 7 teams. Who's going to make it out of the relegation zone? Basically, there's 11 to 12 match games left in the Premier League. Only 6 points separate the bottom 5 teams. Who is going to be relegated? Who's going to make it out? Matt, how are you doing?
Fine, thanks, man. Good. Excited for this last couple of rounds?
Definitely. 7 teams. Let's have a look at them. We're going to start off with Newcastle. Newcastle sitting in 14th position. Their last 5 games, they've won 4, drawn 1. They go up against Everton at home. They go up against, away. They go up against Norwich, Burnley. What do you think? How is Newcastle doing at the moment?
I think Newcastle, ever since they've got that big buy-in, the cash flow, they've bought some amazing players, Kieran Trippier, they've got Chris Wood up front as well now. Eddie Howe's done a great job so far. I don't think that they're in any sort of trouble whatsoever. They are sitting 14th on the log. They are scoring goals. They're doing well. I think that I don't feel that there's any chance that Newcastle's going to get relegated. They're going to have to do really poorly to get relegated. And for everyone's sake, we hope that they are there next season to see what they can bring into that club. I'm very excited for them.
I agree with you. I mean, they're sitting on a run of 8 unbeaten games at the moment. I'm excited to see what are they going to do next year. Newcastle, they should be fine. All they need, let's say, maybe is 3 wins from their last 12 games, and they should be fine. They should be out of the relegation zone. Cool. Yeah. Let's have a look at Brentford. Brentford sitting in 15th position. Last 5 games, they've won 1, lost 3, drawn 1. Brentford have a little bit of an easier run to come. What do you take on Brentford?
I was quite impressed with Brentford in the beginning of the season, especially in the first game was against Arsenal. They did really, really well. They came out, did well. They're a quality team. They don't leak as many goals as the bottom, say, 4 or 5, Leeds, Everton, Norwich and Watford and so on. They don't win as many games though, but their defense is a bit better than the rest of the other teams fighting to stay up. I think that they should be safe. They can't play poor though, obviously not. I just think that they've just got enough with a better start to the season than the rest just to stay up a bit. So I think that they will probably scrape through pretty, not easy, but pretty all right, I feel.
Well, they're going to face Burnley, Watford, Everton and Leeds. If they just win 3 out of those 4, I think they'll be safe. I think they'll be fine.
So what we can see with this relegation battle is that a lot of the teams who are fighting to stay up are playing against each other.
Yes.
So it's almost like it's in their own destiny to stay up if they really push for it. Yes. And I think Brentford will have just a bit more than a few of the other teams, which we'll probably mention just now.
No, definitely. Well, let's look at the next team. The next team is Leeds. Leeds sitting in 16th. Their last 5 games, they've lost 5 matches. Leeds in a bit of a free fall. They're basically free falling right down to the bottom of the log. What do you think?
They've conceded 61 goals already this campaign. That's poor. It's really, really poor. They're missing their main strike force in Patrick Bamford, their midfield maestro in Calvin Phillips, who with those two there, they kind of run the show. They're just leaking in way too many goals. In the past, Leeds used to score a lot of goals and then concede, but a lot of the time they would score more than the opponent, almost like the old Liverpool. They would score a lot of goals, concede a lot, but just score a bit more most of the time. They've literally only won 5 games this whole campaign, and goals are just flying in. To me, Leeds, they're going to drop down very quickly into that relegation battle. I don't think that it's unfortunate though. They've just lost their manager as well. It's unfortunate because Leeds is an exciting team, but they're just too poor at the moment, to be dead honest.
Well, I mean, look, they're going to play 3 direct relegation rivals next. They go up against Norwich, they go up against Watford and Brentford, and they have to win those 3 games. And then they have to hope for upsets in the other games. I don't think Leeds have the firepower right now to get out of the bottom. I think they're going to free fall all the way down. Let's look at the next team. The next team is Everton. Everton sitting in 17th, last 5 games, lost 4, won 1. I think without a doubt, Everton is probably my poorest team in the Premier League this season. they've got 4 defeats in the last 5 games. Lampard's side, they just don't look like they actually want to make it out of the relegation.
Yeah, I watched them on Monday evening against Spurs, lost 5-0, poor. I think there's a stat that they've only got 1 shot on target in the last 3 games or so. I read up somewhere. They're just leaking in goals all of a sudden. They don't look good. They've got such good quality there. They've got Calvert-Lewin. They've got they just brought in. They've got Richarlison, one of the best strikers, I think. But they just can't do anything. Luckily that they have a big squad, a lot of experienced players there, and their name should I must say, if it was 2 or 3 games to go in the league, I would say Everton's really probably not going to make it. But with their amount of games and with their squad depth and with their experience, I think that they will just scrape through, hopefully for their sake. It would be cruel to lose Everton to the Championship, one of Liverpool's biggest rivals. I think they're playing against Liverpool coming up soon. But yeah, they've been absolutely poor. I fully agree with you. They're one of the most poorest sides I've seen all season.
Well, yeah, they face Liverpool away on the 23rd of April. It's that derby, like you said. But I mean, Matt, no side has collected fewer away points than the 6 that Everton have across the entire season. Lampard's now lost 3 of his away games, but not just lost them in an alarming manner. So I don't know if Frank Lampard, if you can get them back up. Like you say, you don't want to see them drop out. I just don't know if they can do it. They're winless in their last 11 Premier League away games. To go up against Liverpool, yeah. Next team to look at, Burnley. Burnley sitting in 18th position, current form, last 5 games, 1-2, lost 2, drawn 1. What do you think about Burnley's chances?
Well, Burnley's got 1 game in hand over Watford and Norwich, who are set below them. The thing about Burnley, which has been poor, is that they've only won 3 games this whole campaign. Luckily for them, they've drawn a lot of games. They've drawn, I think, 12 games already. They're not a high-scoring team. They've lost, obviously, Chris Wood to Newcastle. I think for me, it's probably now between Burnley and Everton. I still think Everton's just going to scrape through about them. But yeah, Burnley, like the other teams, it's really up to them to push through to beat the likes of Watford and Norwich and Everton and so on themselves to start. But I just don't see that depth in that team compared to, say, Everton, compared to, say, Brentford, compared to, say, Newcastle. I don't see them staying up. They don't score a lot of goals as well. I think they've only scored 22 goals this whole campaign as well. They don't concede a lot like the rest, though, but I just don't think that they're going to stay up. I think that they'll probably end up just dropping off, I think, this year.
I agree with you. Next team is Watford. Watford second last, sitting in 19th. The last 5 games, they've lost 3, won 1, drawn 1. Roy Hodgson doing his best with Watford. What do you think about them?
Well, I've always enjoyed Watford. I've got a little soft spot for them. I was a big Troy Deeney fan back in the past. They've got so much good firepower, though. They've got players like Dennis up front there. They've got Cleverley in the midfield. It's just their defense also leaking goals. I think they've conceded 50 goals this campaign as well. I do feel, though, that Watford's going to climb up. They're going to stay out of the relegation zone, even though that they're below Burnley with a game with the extra game played. I just think that Watford, I just got a feeling that they are going to stay in and they're going to score. And if they start scoring, and if they can somehow keep their defense and not concede so many goals, I reckon they will stay up. I've got a good feeling about Watford.
I agree with you. I mean, they're going to take on Everton at home on the 20th of March. Then the 9th of April, they have Leeds at home. They're going to beat Leeds at home. We know that. Against Everton, it's 50-50, maybe 60-40 for Watford. I think they've got a chance to beat Everton. I really think they do. If they can beat Everton, if they can beat Leeds, then they face Brentford at home with a bit of momentum, a bit of confidence, and then they face Burnley at home. I mean, 4 home games there. They can get themselves out of the bottom 3.
So I think, like you said, they're going to beat Leeds easily, and it's maybe 10 games ago, I would say no, not easy. I don't think they'll beat them easily. I think Leeds also is fighting. I do think that with the current form and the current teams and squads and stuff, I think that they will most probably beat Leeds. But yeah, I think that they can beat Leeds, that they can beat Everton, they can beat the rest of the bottom, say 5-6 teams. They scored 2 against Arsenal. Unlucky not to draw that game.
Yes.
So I think that they definitely have a chance. I think that they will rise above Burnley and go and probably just scrape through this year, I think.
And next we've got bottom of the log, Norwich, sitting rock bottom, 20th. Last 5 games, lost 4, drawn 1. Norwich, any hope for them? I don't think so.
Nah, I think if you had to ask me from a lot earlier on in the season, I would have said Norwich is going to drop out quite easily out of the Premier League this year. And I think a lot of the players, a lot of the fans know it. They've got some good players. They've got Sargent, they've got Pookie up front there. But they've just been too poor. They've conceded a heap of goals. They don't score a lot of goals. I don't think there's much confidence in the squad. I think that they are kind of preparing for the championship, even though there's 10 games or 10, 11 games, like you mentioned. I just don't see them rising above, say, Watford, Everton, even Leeds and Burnley. I just don't see it. I think they're going to finish rock bottom and go down to the championship.
Well, this is the thing. They facing Leeds next. They're facing Brighton. They're facing Burnley. They go away to Leeds. You just said earlier, Leeds are going to fight to the end. You know, that match probably has draw written all over it. Maybe like a 2-2 draw. That's my opinion. Yes, they have Burnley at home, Newcastle at home, but they have to win all 3 of those games just to stand any chance whatsoever.
Yeah, I just think that there's too much pressure on. We've seen Sunderland do it before for a couple of seasons with Sam Allardyce. They were in the same position and they just somehow scraped through. I just don't see the same with Norwich. I think that for them, they have to beat all these bottom, say, 6 teams for them to have any chance. I don't see them beating Brighton. I don't see them beating any of the top 10 sides. I just don't see it. For them, it's almost like they are quite confident that they're going to go down.
Yeah, I agree with you. So that's the bottom 7 teams. I want to put you on the spot now. Who is going to be relegated? I've got my 3 picks. I think bottom of the log is going to be Norwich. I think second bottom of the log is going to be Leeds. And a surprise one for you, I've got a feeling that Everton's not going to be able to make it up. I think Everton's going to drop down into the bottom 3. I think they're going to be relegated. Yeah. What do you think?
I think definitely Norwich and Leeds. I hate to say it. I've got a good mate who supports Leeds, and it's sad to see because they're such an entertaining team. They're just great to watch. But I don't see them staying up as well. I think that their form is terrible. Norwich, Leeds, and I think Burnley for myself. I think if there was 2 or 3 games left for Everton, I think then Everton will go down definitely. But there's 10 or so games, and with Everton's squad compared to Burnley's squad, I think that they're just going to scrape through. So yeah, Burnley, Leeds, and Norwich for me.
That's interesting. Okay, you go for Burnley. I'm going for Everton. Let's see what's going to happen. But we both agree Norwich and Leeds going to be right there at the bottom. So guys, that's it. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that subscribe button. There's absolutely no cost to it. It helps the channel. Press like. Carry on watching our videos. And that's all for now. Matt, thanks a lot.
No, thanks so much, man. Chat soon.
Cheers.